The Black Swan trading panel is a revolutionary tool that will help you on your way to successful trading. Thanks to this tool, you will have an immediate analysis of all trading instruments and you will not miss anything to make successful decisions. The best thing about the Black Swan is that it is going to save you many hours of messy analysis of multiple instruments on variety of time frames. With this indicator you have all information you need on one chart. This video will introduce you to this indicator, show you all its features and tips on how to use it. At the end, you will have a good knowledge on how to use the Black Swan trading panel. The first step is that we are going to open any chart and maximize it, so that there is enough space for the panel. After this step we find the Black Swan indicator and move it to the open chart. A table with the indicator settings will pop up at us. Always make sure that the DLL imports are enabled, and after that move to the inputs column. We will go through all of the inputs step by step while explaining and showing each of the functions of the panel. Therefore for now we will leave the basic settings and press the OK button. And as we can see, the panel has loaded successfully. This can be recognized by the fact that the three dots, in the lower right corner, glow green. If it lights up red, the panel is not completely ready and either we have to wait or just change the time frame. Here you can see an overview of the instruments you are currently using. Of course, it is possible to change the set of these instruments. So let me show you how. First, we have to go to the Inputs menu of the indicator. Here we will be interested in the parameters under the Symbols settings bar. We have several predefined instrument sets to choose from. Most of them are self-explanatory, so I'll tell you a little more about Smart Selector and the custom variant only. First about the Smart Selector. If you choose this option, the panel will choose the most suitable tools for trading based on its strength of the recent past. The custom variant is for those who want to predefine their own instruments. Once you select this option, you define the instruments one line below in the custom symbols column. Just be careful to separate all names with a comma, and you will be all right. Now let's go back to the panel and I'll show you how to set the time frame according to your preferences. As you can see, the panel is currently scanning instruments on a 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 1 hour. We will go back to the indicator settings and I will show you where to change these time frames. We will now be interested in the settings boxes that can be found under time frame settings. Here it is up to you to choose the appropriate time frames. However, please keep in mind that choosing a non-typical time frame, such as 20 minutes or 6 hours, may take more loading time as a large amount of data has to be downloaded. Now, we can move on to the main features of the Black Swan trading panel. They are 3 custom indicators that were created with the intention of analyzing the market in 3 sectors as best as possible. Those being the overall trend, price deviation from its average value, and the most important part of price action, the identification of support and resistance zones. These 3 indicators will give you all the information you need to have for finding the best trade opportunities you possibly can. Now, we will introduce each of these indicators in turn, and show how to work with them, and how to adjust their settings. We will start with the indicator, which measures the trend of any given instrument. The indicator performs its calculations on the basis of 3 moving averages, and thus gives you much more accurate information about the current trend. About reading of this table. Green boxes represent an uptrend, red boxes a downtrend, and gray boxes represent no trend. Pretty simple, right? If we want to open a chart with a given symbol on a certain time frame, we just click on the box as you saw just now. We have shown the functionality of the indicator, so now let's see how to adapt it to your personal trading style. We will return to the indicator settings again, and this time we will be interested in the parameters under the trend indicator settings box. Here, you have 4 options to choose from. The first 3 variants determine what type of trend is important to you. Just a side note, you can find which moving averages are used for each of these options on the indicator sales page. The last variant called custom trend is for those who want to choose their own moving average periods. If you are one of these people, write 3 periods on the line below and separate them with a comma. This will be all for the trend indicator, and now we can look at the other 2. We continue to the next of the indicators, and that is the reversion indicator. Its power is that it can tell you how far the current price deviates from its average value. And, as we all know very well, the price can be far from its average value, but it cannot stay that way for long. We can use this fact in scalping. You can read the indicator table in such a way that the more saturated the color, the further the price is from its average. If the color is green, the price is above its average, and if it is red, the price is below its average. Now let's see how the indicator looks on the chart. Click on any field, and the indicator will open on a new chart on the selected instrument with the selected time frame. After opening the chart, you will see several colored zones connected to each other. Let's start with the gold colored zone. This represents the average value for the given period. This zone is important to us because the price should tend to return to it. The next layer is gray, and it has no special meaning for us. Above and below the gold zone, there are 3 green and red zones, each with a different shade. The more saturated the color, the greater the chance that the price will return to the golden zone. Now let's look at the settings of this indicator. For this we have to go to the Inputs menu again. The settings for the given indicator can be found under the Reversion Indicator settings box. Here we determine the period of the moving average, which is represented by the golden zone. Here I would like you to remember one rule. The lower the period, the more sensitive the indicator will be to the current price. In other words, the zones will more accurately copy the current price movement. The opposite system applies for higher values. As the value is higher, the zones will less accurately copy the movement of the current price. Both of these facts can be put to good use, it just depends on the way you trade. We move to the last of the 3 main indicators, and that is the support and resistance indicator. As we know, support and resistance zones are the building blocks of price action. Thus, it is extremely important to have an overview of where such zones are formed. This indicator was created exactly for this purpose. If you see a red box, it means a resistance zone has formed, and if the box is green, a support zone has formed. After that, just click on the given field, and you will be redirected to the given chart, as you saw right now. Now, let's look at the parameters of the indicator. As you can probably already guess, we have to go to the panel settings, and in them we will be interested in the input fields under the support and resistance indicator settings field. Here we have 4 options to choose from. The higher the sensitivity level, the less significant price points will be used when searching for these zones. Now that we have introduced the main indicators, we will move on to the supporting indicators, which will give us an even better overview of what is happening in the market, and which instruments we should trade. These indicators are none other than currency strength meter and currency volume meter. First, let's take a look at the currency strength meter. This indicator works by measuring how strong each currency has been over a given period. The principle is very simple, but it is one of the most important tools in trading. The general rule is that we trade the strongest pairs with the weakest. To open this indicator, just click on this button and you will be redirected to it. Now, let's talk about the currency volume meter. This indicator tells us what volumes were traded on individual currencies for a given time period. This information is good for us to choose the most active and most frequently traded currency pairs. As with the currency strength meter, just click on this button and you will be redirected. Moving on, we will now discuss 2 additional features that are available with the Black Swan trading panel. These features are Market Sessions Detector and News Filter. We'll start with the Market Sessions Detector. If the circle is green, it means that the session is active. If it is not lit, it is not active. This can help us decide which instruments to trade. Regarding the News Filter, it tells us the nearest economic event and what potential impact it may have. This impact is represented by the number next to the threat level label and ranges from 1 to 3, with 1 being the lowest level of impact and 3 being the highest. If we click on the button in the upper left corner, we will be redirected to a page with a complete overview of all economic events with a detailed description. We return to the indicator settings, and here we can determine which type of news we are interested in. We determine this by entering a level of importance that is relevant to us. Therefore, if we enter a value of 1, the news filter will catch all events with an importance level of 1 and higher, and will show us the most recent one. If we enter 2, it catches all events with an importance 2 and higher. The very last the Black Swan feature is this. You have the option to create your own instrument analysis using visual objects. The moment the price reaches the created object, you will receive a notification. This feature will save you a lot of time sitting in front of the screen and watching several charts at once. Note that created objects can only be rectangles. While I was speaking, everything was demonstrated on video. I would like to show you one more thing. In case you would like to contact me or visit my social media profiles, click this button and you will be redirected. Then just either click on the link or use my Gmail. That's all for today's video. I hope it was helpful and you now have a good understanding of how to use the Black Swan. Otherwise, feel free to contact me. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this indicator proves useful. I firmly believe that with the help of all the features of this indicator you will be able to profit on the financial markets. See you on the next video. Bye.